be able to hear you just fine.
All right. Should I select the stage, or are we going
Let's go to any miscellaneous Omega stage for now.
All right.
Okay, so the way that we're gonna start this, I'm gonna start playing as Mario, and I want to kind of gauge where you're at right now. So we're gonna play as if we're playing a normal 2-stock match. I want you to go all out. I'm going to be testing you on certain aspects during the match.
Okay.
All right. Go.
Ready.
Okay, there's a bit of delay between us, but it's not too bad.
Oh. Huh. Well, it's about like 4 my time, so I don't know. Maybe people are using the network. It's college, so people need to.
I mean, the connection's consistent. It's just like there's latency. So it could also be a matter of distance.
Oh. Stage spikes that happen.
Okay.
Oh.
Very nice. Okay, so overall pretty good. I saw some things I liked, some things I didn't. So let's see, where can we start? Okay, well, I think before we even get to the topic of fundamentals, there's some very basic stuff in terms of understanding of the character that I do want to touch on first. Mostly dealing with control with Shulk. Obviously, I'm not going to be talking about the advanced techniques of Shulk until we got everything else sorted out, especially since fundamentals, I believe, are infinitely more important than a lot of the advanced techniques, even though the advanced techniques for Shulk do help his fundamentals a lot.
Alright.
So, first off, let's talk about Monado art control. I'm pretty sure are you very well familiar with the effects of all the arts?
Yeah, I know them and their drawbacks.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's pretend this is the start of a match. I want you to activate a Monado art and start moving towards it. Okay, so I want you to see what you just did. What you did, you stood still and then first press B and then start moving, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one way to do it. Another way that I've seen a lot is actually maybe I should be playing Shulk for this part as well. It makes it a little easier. But one thing that I've seen a lot of people do is, this is something that I used to do a lot as well, is they jump forward and then they cycle to a Monado art while they're moving forwards. Like they reset their stick to neutral and then keep going from there.
Okay. I've used that a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the only way of doing it either. That's one way. That's the way that I used to do it all the time. Not so much anymore. Anyways, I'm waiting in the match.
Alright.
Okay, so usually what you were doing, you stop, press B, then start moving, or you jump and then press B and start moving. Another way you can do it though is you can foxtrot, like just dash forward, and during that you can start activating the Monado arts.
Huh.
So if you want to straight up run to your opponent, what you can do is you can dash forward with the foxtrot and then keep holding forward after the dash, and it will transition naturally into a normal dash.
Oh.
Essentially, the input would be forward release B forward hold.
All right.
So like that.
Like that.
Just practice it with one B press for now.
Oh, well, there goes that. I knew jump was on cooldown, so I was just like,
I mean, it doesn't really need to be active.
No.
Just for starters, this is all I want you to do. Oh, sorry, not that.
Oh, you're fine.
This. Just dash forward and press B. Once you get a feel for doing that and not backslashing by accident, then I want you to just, instead of foxtrotting forward again, I want you to hold forward.
Right.
There you go.
Wait, hold on. No.
In general, after you press the B button once, you can cycle to your heart's content without ever having the risk of backslashing, because the art is active now. Unless it's grayed out.
Oh, that's because I was about to say I've had problems where I was trying to lab something earlier, and like I think I was trying to do the jump cancel thing that you do in a mid-auto purge, but halfway through I would like backslash or something.
Actually, no. Even if it is grayed out, you can still just keep doing it. You won't accidentally backslash. Okay, so what were you saying? You were trying to Monado Purge and you would accidentally backslash?
Or no, I was trying to get the jump boost you get from deactivating Monado jump.
Okay, buffer deactivation. Okay.
Yeah, buffer deactivation. And I remember there were backslashes involved.
Okay, well there should never be backslash involved, because in the input for that, you never press forward.
Well, I can't remember the exact situation.
What you should be doing, you jump, you grab them, throw them up, and then after you throw them up, press B 3 times. And then immediately afterwards, you jump.
Yeah.
There should be no input of forward or anything, unless if you're trying to jump forward, then that's where I would see it. But essentially, since you're buffering the deactivation, you want to press forward after you have finished pressing B 3 times. The third B press has to be neutral, and then after that neutral press, you press forward.
Yeah. I remember I was using Monado Purge as an example because I didn't actually remember what I was doing, but I remember what I was doing now because I swapped up my controls to have what you have. R for special.
Gotcha.
And I was thinking maybe it's a good idea to, I know how to press B a lot, but maybe I should learn how to quickly cycle through Monado art. So I would like go into jump, and then I would think like, all right, so it's 6 cancels or 6 presses to shield. And I would do that really fast, like.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually an exercise that I did way back in the day. Like I would just say in my head, like I would pick a random art, smash.
Yeah.
And then Buster.
Yeah, something like that.
And just try to get better at that. I'm doing it wrong right now. Oh boy, I need to get back in that. Speed. And then just, just keep going like that. Cycling through the arts, making sure that you get it in your head exactly which art. I also, I would do this for other people. Like, I would say, go to smash, go to bust, go to jump, go to shield, go to speed, go to smash. Like, in order, just in training mode, just trying to get the mindset to just be able to go through that immediately with the extra B presses and all that stuff. Let me see, real quick. Vision sliding is beautiful. I love it. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Quick look at the chat. For the most part, I'm not going to be paying attention to the chat because I want to give my undivided attention to you during this lesson. But if someone has an important question, I'll slide over and answer. Anyways,
go ahead,
moving forward from that, this is something that I really want you to get good at, because it's so unrestricted. Like, when you're starting with cycling Monado arts, since people are scared to backslash, they'll just stand still with the B press. But if you get good at doing the foxtrot method, you can dash forward extremely freely.
Yeah. Hey, that's great. I'll have to get that down to muscle memory.
Now, here's another thing. Okay, I want you to recover back to the stage. Try to recover as safely as possible. Grab the ledge. Okay, you spaced yourself relatively well. You were a little too high, but there was one thing that you did that was off.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you what that was right now. I want you to do exactly what you did again.
Okay.
Just for comparison's sake.
All right.
Okay, now I want you to do the same thing, but this time buffer the second slash with your upbeat.
That was wrong, wasn't it?
That was very wrong.
Yep. I normally just...
You don't need jump art for this. Just get that max spacing. I want you to upbeat the ledge.
Are you talking about that?
No. That I believe is... Were you buffering the second slash there?
No, I was just inputting the first one.
Okay. Do the same thing, but input the second one. You were way too high on that one.
Yeah, spacing's off.
There you go. I want you to notice how much faster that was.
Yeah. One more time for comparison. Oh yeah. Now that I was looking for it, that did feel a lot faster.
It is 8 frames faster to be exact. This is what I call snapping the damn ledge.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And it's extremely important, because there's so many Shulk players that die for free. Like, here, I want you to look at the difference. I'm going to knock you off.
Yeah.
And I want you to do them without the buffered slash.
Oh yeah, because the 2-frame activates a whole lot slower.
Exactly. It's like Cloud Upbeat. It's exactly like Cloud Upbeat. Now, if you actually were to buffer the second slash...
Alright. Yeah.
You're completely safe. And you're not dying. Thanks a lot for the follow, Cosmic PM. Much appreciated. Anyways. So those two are important Shulk fundamentals. Over... well, the first one is good for control. The other one, this one is infinitely more important than the first one, because you will live in situations where you would normally die, where Sheiks are going to be down tilting you, looking to follow up with forward tilt, fair, bouncing fish, or something like that, and you would die. Or instead, you could snap the ledge and live. It's a no-brainer. You want to live.
Yeah. I remember I was watching some of your matches a while back, because I was, you know, like, I don't think I'm great now, but I thought I was... I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but point is, I was watching some of your matches, and I was just like, hey look, he's snapping the ledge, that's pretty cool. So I decided to try to learn how to do that a little bit, but it still felt different somehow. And I think this was that.
This is exactly that, yes. So, here's another aspect of it, though. Do you have any experience playing Cloud?
As him or against him?
As him.
I've played a couple times.
Okay. Let's talk about playing against him. Have you noticed when Clouds are recovering that they will up B with the up B starting next to the ledge, and then they will snap?
Yeah, auto snap.
Yes. Shulk can do that too.
Yeah,
It's easiest to practice when you're rising. So like, get below the ledge. Notice that if I just keep going like this, I will travel past the ledge without grabbing it. That's because characters in this game cannot grab the ledge while they are moving up. They can only use it if they use a move that makes them snap, or if they are falling. So what you can do, you can rise and then up B when you're below the ledge. Right now I'm doing it too late thanks to the delay that we have.
Sorry
And then
about
you will
that.
snap the ledge. No problem.
Yeah. Let's keep
That's
in
something
mind.
that you can very easily use to mix up your recovery. So like if someone sees you jump here, they're going to go out for an attack covering this area over here because they're like, hey, he's trying to get past me to jump on. I'm going to be killing you. And then you just instead snap to the ledge and mix them up completely. You jump nowhere near as high as they thought you would, and you live. That's another aspect of snapping the damn ledge, but that's the tricky one. That one's gonna require practice, but I do want you to keep both in mind, and I do want you to practice both.
All right.
Now, everything else for the most part, I wouldn't really say is straight up fundamentals for Shulk. Like there's very basic stuff. These very basic stuff allows you to put Shulk already at a competent level, where before if he can't snap the ledge, he's like a low bottom tier character. Now we're looking at a competent character. And from there, you have all the advanced techs that can make it better than he already is. Besides that, I would say Monado Art control is using Monado Arts in certain specific situations, but we will talk about that mostly later on. I'll go into a brief overview to start off. Jump Art is great for recovering, decent and neutral. Don't use it when you're in a combo where you're going to get bodied.
Yeah, 20%.
Speed Art makes winning neutral and gaining stage control a lot easier. It allows you to carry someone from center stage. Here, come closer, come closer. I grabbed you in center stage. You're already at the edge, thanks to Speed Art. So from center stage, you can push someone straight up to the edge. And that was, I kind of messed up there. Even though I didn't get that much damage, I got 28% on you. It's not about damage, it's about gaining stage control. Because once I push you to the ledge, then I can switch to Buster Art. And then right here, I can just read your options trying to get back onto the stage, try to cover as much as I can, keep that advantage, and just try to mess you up. And then if we were to reset to neutral, I would switch out of Buster. Unless I think I can beat you in neutral with Buster, because it's really good for blocking out, for shield pressure. Shield is really good against combo characters, or for surviving. It makes a lot of attacks unsafe on shield. So like, come at me with a fair or something. Oh, actually I'm at too high percent.
Oh.
Let's say I'm at 0%. If you try to come at me with like a nair combo. Like, do you know how to do nair to jab?
I've heard about it earlier today.
Okay, you're seeing how very little I'm moving. Partially because I'm in shield, partially because I'm crouching. But you can essentially do this to just armor through anything. Someone tries to hit you with a weak combo move in order to try to string into a combo, and you can just straight up counter out of it. It's busted.
Let's keep that in mind.
Let me see, what about opponents who are expecting you to air slash that sort of horizontal range from the ledge and try to dare you or something before the snap? Will we still snap before dare get hit, or is there something you need to work around? No, the dare would snap before... I mean, you would snap before the dare hits you, unless the dare 2 frames. It's the same as any other character. I'm jumping up, and then it's literally a 2-frame window for me to snap the ledge. So if you can dare any other character, you can dare Shulk. But it's not a Shulk specific thing. It's just he has a good recovery. If you go too high, then yeah, you're gonna get screwed because it's gonna hit you where you poke above the ledge. Tremendo. Anyways, moving forward. Besides that, all the other stuff I would say is mostly extraneous, little details that you can add to Shulk's kit. Nothing absolutely game-breaking, except for the advanced text, of course. And we're gonna go over every single move in detail if we have the time. But for now, let's work more on fundamentals.
Okay.
Okay, so you said you watched my lesson with Paradigm. Have you watched any of my other lessons?
Well, I watched part of the lesson with Paradigm, and I think I watched a little bit of another one. I can't remember who.
Do you remember the character?
Yeah. Well, what do you mean the character? The character you were playing?
No, the character my opponent was playing.
He was playing Shulk.
Okay, with the Shulk lesson.
Yeah.
Okay. That could be any of them, but we're gonna move. We're just gonna go in for now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk little bit about the neutral game and about playstyles.
Okay.
I think I may have done this in the lesson you watched, but
Maybe.
I'm gonna briefly go over this stuff anyways. Okay, so when you're in neutral, this right here, do you know what neutral is?
Even stage control.
Yeah, that's about it. Even stage control, even access to options. Essentially, both of us right now we are in the neutral. We can both do whatever the heck we want. I can walk forward, I can walk back, I can run forward, I can run back. I can run and shield, I can run and dash attack, I can run and grab, I can run and back air, I can run and air dodge, I can run and spot dodge. It's just, you can't possibly guess what I'm going to do in neutral unless I am a predictable player. So it's not worth doing so. In the neutral, you don't play for reads. Instead, you play for observation, tendencies, safe play, try to get an edge. Once you have an edge, once you take the advantage, that's when you can start making reads. Because then what defines an advantage is that your opponent's options are limited. Like, let's say I jump into the air. What can I do when I'm in the air?
Attack, air dodge.
Attack, air dodge, double jump are some special moves sometimes that are a little off kilter. Like up B. Like for example, Captain Falcon, I guess if you hold shield, he can jump down and use a command grab. Diddy Kong as well. But that's very few, and that's character-specific options to keep in mind. But in general, those are the limited amount of options. And for the most part, every single one of those options is beaten by holding shield. Like if I try coming down at you with an attack, you can block the attack pretty easily, and then counterattack. That's why being on the ground is almost infinitely better than being in the air, because you can just hold shield and beat out almost every single option they have. There are some exceptions, like sometimes people will land and do nothing and grab you, and that's something that you have to watch out for, but that becomes something that you can mix up and just keep an eye out for. If you always go for the same option, someone might try to mix you up, but in general, you can guess what the opponent's going to do and you can make those reads. And if I try landing and doing that, you can just as easily up tilt and just beat out literally anything I can do except for air dodge. Because if I attack, you're gonna outrange me. Now, if I double jump, I lose my double jump and I can't double jump anymore, so that's even more at a risk. So, if let's say I jump from this position, I can drift backwards or I can drift forwards, but there's a set range that I can go. Here that set range is the entire stage, but what if I'm at the ledge? Now I can only cover this area.
Yeah.
So let's say, and I'm an aggressive player, and I'm going to be aiming for you. So I jump up, and I'm drifting towards you. What you can do is use the stage control you have to your advantage, and just take a quick step out of my range, and then suddenly I land, and I can't possibly hit you with any move in my arsenal. Or even better, let's say I'm off stage and I try double jumping back onto the stage. This is the farthest I can possibly go. If you're not in this range, I cannot hit you.
And if I'm here, I can just up tilt or do whatever.
Well, I wouldn't recommend that. You could if I'm well above you, but if I'm able to land on the ground, then I can punish the up tilt. What you could do is, to cover literally anything I could possibly do, is take a step back and then throw out an attack to cover my landing. Like walk backwards with a forward tilt, or pivot grab, or step back, hold shield, and then punish out a shield. You know, all these little things here and there. So, if I'm off stage, my options are jump back to the stage or go for the ledge. Because if I stay out here for too long, I die. I can stay out here for a certain amount of time, but once I'm way down here, if I don't up B to the ledge, I die. So I literally have no options left except double jump up B or die. And you know I don't want to die, so I'm going to double jump up B. And here you can guess, hey, he's going to double jump up B. And if you're in a position to cover that, against many characters, you can very easily do so. Against Mario, I wouldn't recommend trying to cover him when he's in up B range of the ledge, because that's just asking to die. But we're gonna go into that into more detail a little later. For now, I want to talk about the neutral specifically.
Okay.
In neutral, your goal is to gain the advantage. Different players are going to have different playstyles, so you can't approach every single player the same way. I'm going to talk now about 4 main playstyles that define almost every single playstyle that someone could possibly pull out. Different combinations of this. So, I'm going to be playing a little more binary than usual. I'm going to be playing only in this one playstyle. And I want you to figure out a way out of it, a way around it, and to gain the advantage and keep the advantage. We're going to play to 1 stock.
Okay.
I want your goal to be to minimize damage as much as possible, and to kill me before I kill you. The less damage you have at the end of this, the better. So,
Okay.
let's get started. I'm not even going to tell you what the playstyle is that I'm using. I want you to try to figure it out.
Alright.
And later on, I'm going to categorize 4 main playstyles so you can have a bit more of an idea of what's going on. Okay, let's go.
Yep. What?
Okay. So, before I say anything, do you have, no, do you understand what that playstyle was that I just used?
Overly defensive.
Well, it was defensive, but maybe not in the way you think it is. It is,
Passive?
it's both passive and defensive. This playstyle I call passive defense. Essentially, to play passively is to try to control your zone, your area of the stage, using your stage control as a resource to just stay back, keep your opponent out of your zone. And if they try to get the zone, then you try to keep them out of your zone. To play defensively is to play reactive. I am waiting for you to do something and then punishing that something.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to break through this, I want you to keep in mind the value of stage control, exactly how useful it is to maintain control of the stage. When I am, let's say, right here where we are at right now, we're pretty much in even stage control. We can move forward the same amount. You have more range, so you control more of the stage than I do. So like, my protection, no, my range of protection would be just about like over here, this line over here, while you cover everything up to where I am. Even though we're controlling around the same amount of stage, is because your range and your speed, if you're in speed art or whatever, allows you to control a little bit more than I can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I move forward, now I am in your threat zone, but you're also in mine. So since I have better frame data than you, you're in my threat zone more than I'm in yours. So you, let's say you're playing passive, would take a step back. And if you take a step back, then I am free to move forward. And then you keep moving back, I keep moving forward, and suddenly you're at the ledge. You can't move back anymore. So here, you're in a position of fight or flight. You either have to knock me back or cross me up. And if I'm standing here, you can't cross me up because I can very easily react to any attempt that you have to move forward. So like, if you were to try to cross me up, I can block it and just counterattack and chase you. or I can intercept it with a back air, or just do general things to try to keep you at this ledge. Now, if I were to move forward though, I can't possibly react to anything you do. You can't possibly react to anything I do. So while I could potentially get some follow-ups here, like a grab and whatever leading into combos, you can jump over me and cross me up extremely easily. And there's nothing I would be able to do about it if we were playing both off reaction. So, essentially, when you're approaching your opponent, and you know your opponent's playing passively, the less stage control they have, the less options they have. So when I'm standing over here, you're at a disadvantage, I'm at an advantage, because I have all this stage control at my disposal. If you try to push into me, I can very easily pull back and then punish you. But you don't have that option. You either stay put, go to the ledge, go off stage and potentially die, or cross me up. And if I stayed back a little bit, then you can't do that. If I push forward, then you have that freedom. So that's called me giving up my advantage. Because look how easy it is for you to roll behind. If you roll behind me. Now, you're in the position that I was just in. You control the stage, and I'm stuck at the ledge. My options are limited. That's a form of crossing up. Taking the stage control that's available to you. However, if you, let's say you try to roll back, get back in that position, and I'm over here, and you try to roll through me, you're now right directly on top of me, and I have enough time to react to that roll and potentially punish you. Like, I could very easily take a step back and pivot grab, cover literally any sort of approach option you have, and there's not much you can do in that situation. So let's apply this to fighting an opponent who's playing passively. If I am staying over here, and you close the distance towards me, I'm throwing fireballs all over the place, and then you close the distance, and then I start playing reactively. I'm waiting for you to make a mistake. So let's say you come up and nair my shield, and I can grab you very easily because you're not in Buster Art, you didn't space that well, you pushed a little too far, and you gave up your advantage. And then I can just knock you off stage, and then reset, because now you're behind me, and I control the stage, and I can step back all I want. And you're kind of forced to push into me. Now, if you instead use an option that I can't react to, like for example, if you were to grab me, dash grab, I can't react to that. There's no indication that you're going to do that. Especially if you're in speed art, you can do this from farther away because you travel faster. And there's no way for me to possibly react to this. If you approach with a defensive option yourself, and I react to your approach by holding shield, or spot dodging, or rolling, or doing any of that stuff, since you're approaching reactively, you can react to my reaction to your approaching, and then beat me out faster than I can beat you out. So let's say you run up to me with a shield, and my instinct is to hold shield when you approach. You have more time to react to me approaching than I have to react to the fact that you shielded. Or rather, you have more time to react to me shielding than I have to react to the fact that you shielded. Because you approached, I reacted to the approach, I didn't react to the shield. So right there, you can run up, shield, and then immediately grab. But in order to run up shield, you can't foxtrot. That's actually another basic control thing. If you foxtrot and try shielding, you're going to screw yourself over. Instead, what you need to do is you need to keep running forward and hold shield. This is actually a really good tool to break into fireballs as well. So like if I were to throw a bunch of fireballs, you can perfect shield one and then run through it and perfect shield the next one. One thing to keep in mind though is that you cannot, shield normally comes out frame 1, but if you run and shield, because of the initial dash, the shield comes out on frame 10 for Shulk. It's different for every character. For Shulk it's frame 10. There you go. And now you're in my face, you're holding a shield, you just perfect shield it. You can buffer an input out of perfect shield, or you can grab it. And there's nothing I can do because I'm in lag from throwing the fireball. Besides that, if you catch me throwing the fireball, like if I throw the fireball when you're a little too close, you can use an option like nair or back air to just hit the fireball and hit me behind it. which comes more from aerial approaches, or to punish me in general. And if you get the Nair, you gain that stage control, and then you can go into Buster Art, pressure me off stage, or go into Smash Art if I'm ready to kill. All that good stuff. Anyways, let's restart. Let's see if you can apply this.
Alright. I just want to see if I do any weird backslashing. I'm using that new control scheme.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting a little bit of lag. Let's wait it out.
Oh. Is that more even? Nope.
It was for a second. Okay, there we go. And it's gone. We're getting very inconsistent connection right now. This isn't good.
Oh. Right.
Okay, looks like we're good. Every time I say
wait.
that.
Oh.
Every time I say that.
Oh.
Give it a
Is
second.
Is it?
Okay, I
Looks
think we're
like-
good. Let's go.
Right. Oh.
Let's try that again, because you were actually doing a lot better that time.
I was?
You don't have to kill yourself, you just died. Okay, let's go.
Alright.
That was uncharacteristic. Good stuff.
Oh, that's stand-up animation from down tilt.
If you had spaced that that Nair a little better, you would have been well set. Nice.
Just care too much.
Don't opt for that unless you know what the person's going to do. Someone who's playing passively will usually play patient. You have to hit them with things they can't react to.
Yeah. Oh. What was that?
Shield Art's usually not going to be particularly useful against someone who's playing this playstyle. It's still useful, especially if you push into the ledge. Because remember what I said. There's one thing that I said, which was the first thing I said, that you're not making too much use of, which is, I think, one of your main downfalls.
The foxtrot?
No. I mean the first thing that I said in terms of dealing with this playstyle. You have me at the ledge, but you're getting too close. You're giving up your stage control.
Yeah.
If you stay a little more at a distance, then you put me in a position where I can't react to your approaches, and my options are limited. So I either have to force you back stay put and potentially get bodied by a dash grab, or whatever option you decide to go for, or you wait for me to try to cross you up and then punish that. So like if you stand right in front of me, like over here, and I try to get past you, you can up tilt me on reaction when you try to jump over you, or throw out a lingering nair with more range. Something like that. Just throw out options that prevent me from getting back. If I am trying to get past you, since I am holding forward towards you, you can take a step back and just cover that range. Like, you could very easily jump backwards and throw out a fair, and there's nothing I can do to break past that.
That's not a fair.
Okay. Let's give this one more shot, and then we're gonna move forward.
Right.
In general, you're gonna be able to look over the video and think about things. I'm gonna write some notes regarding your performance and all these things, and things you can improve on. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's try this one more time.
Okay.
Nice. Right there, you gave up your advantage by going off stage. You did not need to go off stage. That was good, but you did knock out a shield pass out. Nice! Very nice. You're acting a little too quickly. I want you to react to my reactions. Or, no, you either want to hit me with things that I cannot react to, or you want to bait my reactions with your own reactions.
Right.
Like, if you run up to me and shield, then I will be baited by the fact that you're approaching. Thanks a lot for the follow. BFam Visionary, much appreciated. And then I will try to block because you're approaching, and then you'll be able to do something. Or if I air dodge instead and you run up to me and shield, and you can very easily catch me as I'm landing. But if you just run up to me and try to hit me with something that I'm fully expecting, like for example, if you dash grab me like 3 times in a row, any sort of approach that I see, I'm going to expect a dash grab and I'm going to react. If you hit me with it, from a position that I can't react to, then it works. But if you're too far away and you try running up to me, I'm going to react to the fact that you're running up to me. And if you've only been doing dash grabs, then I know a dash grab is coming. So instead of shielding, I'm going to roll, spot dodge, or air dodge.
Okay.
Now, if you were to run up to me and shield when I spot dodge, here, try, give it a shot. Run up to me and shield. I'm going to spot dodge. Right there, after I spot dodge, you can react to the spot dodge and then catch it with a grab. Or if I were to roll, you can use an out of shield option, like up the out of shield or something like that. Which, by the way, is one of the Shulk fundamental things that I forgot to mention. It's actually really good.
Trying to do a...
The way that I do it is I hold shield, hold up, then jump and R. So like if someone were to cross up your shield, you can very easily do that to catch them. Just don't commit to it because it's a big commitment. It has a lot of range and it's very good if it hits, but it's a big commitment. I said we were only going to do this one more time, but that was a crucial detail that we were missing out on. So let's try this one last time before we move forward. If you had gone for a nair there instead, I think that's what you wanted to do. Very nice. You gave up your advantage by pushing too far. Very nice. Good stuff. When you push someone to the ledge, especially if you're a shield art, you have to watch for when they try to cross you up. That's your opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Except for the jab. You shouldn't have jabbed. The jab is a commitment, even if it's a very slight one. Okay, so that went a lot better. Still only got to work on that a bit. We'll see if we can revisit it if we have time, but we got to move on now.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another playstyle. Get back to your side of the stage. So we can get started. Alright, let's go. That was an interesting option. Oh, well, that worked out. Okay, so you made it with the skin of your teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, so that playstyle was the exact opposite of the first playstyle that I used.
Mm-hmm.
I am playing actively, approaching, active aggressive, whatever you want to call it, and I am playing offensively. When I play actively, what active means is they are trying to get into your space and take your stage control from you. What offense means is they're playing proactively. Like, instead of playing reactively where you wait for your opponent to do something, you're going in and you're pressing the buttons first.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can tell from the very definition of it, I'm rushing you down and pressing buttons. This isn't a very safe playstyle to use in neutral.
Mm-hmm.
If I constantly go forward, pressing buttons, trying to get good shots in, you're going to struggle. Yes, Shulk Cyclone, I will be uploading this VOD later on. Feel free to check it out on my YouTube channel or on Twitch. There's going to be good times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, essentially, I want you to think about what I said earlier. About, here, switch places with me. Let's say I want to go forward into you. This is where I want to be. This is my favorite place in the world. Right by your side. Together forever, Mario, Shulk, LTB.
Look at him.
Shulk doesn't like that. So Shulk wants to take a step backwards. Like, hey man, too close, too close. Mario's like, no, but I love you. And Shulk needs to keep taking a step back. As long as you take a step back, Mario can't get next to you. And that's your goal. So, if Mario's constantly rushing you down, pushing forward, you want to be able to take a step back and put a hitbox right where Mario wants to be.
It's meant to be retreating fair, but
yeah,
whatever.
this is the part where being from 3DS is going to screw you over a little bit.
Yep.
Because this is extremely easy if you use the C stick.
I'm trying to use the C stick. It's just like I'm trying to swap, like using my index finger for X and my thumb for control
I
for
wouldn't
the C
recommend
stick?
using index finger for X here. What I do in this situation is I jump with X and then I move my thumb to C stick forward. You don't have to be perfect.
All right.
So let's go ahead, give this another shot. Keep that in mind. You did well the first time, but
Okay.
just keep in mind I'm constantly rushing you down. I'm not being safe. Oh, there's one more thing I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'm gonna throw you up in the air. I want you to try to land back on me. I'm gonna raise up your percentage a little. I want you to try to engage me from the air.
Okay.
I hope you're seeing that why this isn't working.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as I try to engage you from the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just threw out up tilts.
You can throw out up tilts, you can hold shield. And you'll be generally fine. Thanks a lot for the follow, Demon Slayer. So, what you can also do is realize that I have a limited space to work with, so you can take a step out of that range as well. This is what I'm trying to teach you is like the concept of me pushing forward into you, trying to get at you, is called holding forward. And if you realize the position that Mario wants to be, right by your side forever and ever and ever, and you take a step back, Mario will keep trying to go towards you and stay in that spot. That's called holding forward, and you can exploit this very easily. This is one of the most common habits. Thanks a lot for the follow. Do you dig worms? This is one of the most common habits that any player has. So if you keep this in mind, you can abuse it. But you also have to keep in mind that you might have this habit as well, and you need to not do it.
Yeah.
So, if you just keep staying back, or if you... The way you beat this playstyle, in general, is by playing passively. Mario's playing actively, all you have to do is play passively. Take a step back, let him do his thing, you'll be fine. He'll press buttons, you'll press better buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead, reset our percentage. Whether
Alright.
you play offensively or defensively, it doesn't matter. If you play passively, you will be fine.
Okay. After this one, can I swap back my controls?
Sure. Alright, let's go.
Alright.
As you can probably tell, this playstyle is very, very strong when I have the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But very weak when you have the advantage and when we're in neutral.
Alright.
So that's generally where you want to use it, but at the same time you don't want to give up your advantage by pushing too far. Let's give this one more shot. Remember what I said about taking the step back. Once you are caught in a combo, you need to reset to neutral without pushing too far forward. You need to land as quickly as possible. Don't try to re-engage Mario because Mario's going to beat you with better buttons. For the same reason that you can beat Mario with better buttons when you have the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. Also, keep in mind what I was doing when I was playing passive defense. See if you can emulate it in your own way. Because it's also a really powerful style to deal with this.
I'll have you know that's completely intentional. Back stuff. Keep taking it.
Okay. Still pretty close, but needs some improvement. Let me see. Against an active player, should you stay in a passive style, even if you gain a slight advantage, knowing that the active player is going to be holding forward towards you. If the active player keeps holding forward towards you when you have the advantage, then you can very easily win by continuing to play passive. You don't have to go to the other side of the stage. All you have to do is stay right out of his range. So if he's constantly going straight towards you, you throw out attacks to intercept him. In general, though, you want to keep the advantage. You want to push the active player towards the ledge that they will keep trying to hold forward towards you. And then when they keep trying to hold forward towards you, you keep using your stage control to your advantage. Bat them back. Get that free damage. Keep pushing them towards the ledge. Free. All that damage. Read the rule. They try to jump towards you, you take a step back, forward smash. You can kill them by doing this. But in general, you don't want to throw away your advantage. If you push too far in an active playstyle or whatever you're ending up doing, then the opponent's going to get back on stage. You're going to give them the advantage. They're going to play however they play an advantage. In general, these lessons that I'm giving right now are specifically for dealing with neutral. Sometimes neutral intersects with advantage and disadvantage because the advantage and disadvantage isn't as well pronounced. But in general, it's just dealing with neutral for the most part. Once the active player gains the advantage, you're going to be in for a world of hurt, and no amount of passive play is going to help you. You just have to reset to neutral. Forget the styles, reset to neutral. Read their options for trying to cover you. Use mix-ups to try to land on the ground. Once you land on the ground and reset to neutral, then you play the playstyle again. Do I ever give people like free best 2 out of 3 matches? I mean, I don't do lessons like that, but I'll give you some tips. Anyways, is there anything that you feel could use some more clarification with the playstyle I mentioned so far, by the way?
Not really.
Okay, it's just a matter of control and thought process, all that good stuff. Okay, we can switch controls now if you want.
Yeah, because there were many times where I felt like I was trying to react with shield, but I would end up activating jump, you know?
You try to shield with R and you end up cycling to another word?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get a change of terrain while we're at it.
Right. That's better.
Okay, so now that you have your controls laid out, let's try this playstyle one last time before moving forward.
Sounds good.
Right there, what I just did was give him my advantage. I almost died for that. There you go. Still on the skin of your teeth, but a little more consistent throughout. You just got caught in one combo. You want to try one more time, or you want to keep going for now?
Sure. One last.
Alright. Good tech.
Thank you.
Oh no!
I was trying to activate jump by using John's. Feels, man.
Man! Okay.
Alright.
Anticlimactic, you wanna try one more time, or...?
I mean, if you're up for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the clock we gotta watch, but we still have an hour left. I'll say this right now, if you're in an art that increases the amount of damage you take and you're caught in a combo, you probably want to turn it off. Yeah. That goes for jump, that goes for buster.
Why did I activate jump?
That was 95% from one combo. That's what happens if you can't reset the neutral out of the combo. That was 95% from one combo. That was absolutely disgusting. You have to turn off buster or jump if you get caught in a combo, especially against an active player or someone who's really good at following up their combos. That goes for Sheik, that goes for Mario, that goes for Peach, that goes for a lot of characters in this game. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on for now.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the next playstyle. Come at me.
Alright.
Not like this. Okay. So do you know what was happening there?
Passive offense?
That's exactly what it was. I'm constantly staying out of your range. I'm staying in my zone. I'm trying to control my zone. If you're trying to get into my zone, you're going to get hit. If you're not trying to get into my zone, you're not going to get hit. So let's say you're playing passive defense, I'm playing passive offense. We're generally not going to interact with each other. If we do, it's going to be at arm's length. So these two playstyles have to tie with each other. If you try to push in forward, all guns blazing, trying to hit me with attacks, you're going to get, no, I'm going to step out of your range and I'm going to bat you away. This is one of the counters to active offense. However, think of this similarly to how you would think of passive defense, in that I'm constantly trying to stay out of the range. If you approach reactively, then you're going to be able to break through whatever I push out. Like here, I want you to try to retreating fair against me when I approach.
All right.
Here, I'm gonna approach from farther off so you have more time to react.
All right. That's not fair.
Try it again.
All right.
In general, if you try to, or how about this? I want you to approach with a shield. Like try to just try to hit me with a defensive approach. If you try to shield grab me when I'm at this range, you won't get anything out of it. But if you're running and you shield grab, you're gonna slide with your shield. That's gonna allow you to pierce through my wall. Alternatively, if you air dodge or run and sidestep or like roll or something, and you punish me during my ending lag, that could work as well. Though Mario doesn't have much ending lag with back air, so it doesn't work quite as well. Mario's zoning options tend to be very safe, but if you're able to break through with a shield, then you can get some good stuff out of it. So like if I run forward and shield, and you try to fair me, I'll get hit by the fair, I'll block the fair rather, and I'll keep sliding forward. And then I can shield grab you, even if you're moving backwards because I'm sliding forward. That of course takes effect if I actually like perfect shield the fair. Since you're reacting a little late with the fair, and because you're not used to doing that on this platform, it's a little harder, but it's just something to keep in mind. This is probably going to be a little tricky to deal with as well when we're dealing with lag and when you haven't mastered that fair, which honestly I would classify as those fundamental techs, like falling aerials, being able to do it retreating and advancing. That's extremely important and more important than anything Mouth can ever teach you. So that's something I definitely want to see you practicing in training. Just make sure that you're able to do it perfectly at any range, space yourself well, make sure you have your mobility all set up, all that good stuff. Your nair spacing isn't too bad. Here, I'm at a decent percent. I want you to turn on speed art and try to hit me with Buster to fair. I mean, nair to fair, not Buster. Okay, try it again. Okay, pretty good. So your falling nair is fine. Now I want you to try to hit me with a falling fair. Okay, that's fine too. Now, I'm going to walk towards you. I want you to hit me with a retreating fair. That's fine. That's exactly what you have to do.
Okay.
When I'm trying to approach, when I'm trying to run towards you with an attack, you can do that and your fair is going to outrange me. You could also retreat with a back air. Like you can just hold forward and then press C stick in the opposite direction.
That's not a jump or a back air.
There you go. Just make sure it's short hop. And make sure you fastball it to hit at the right time. There you go. Perfect. So let's go ahead and reset and try this one more time. Another thing that I can say is that while you would think that playing in the same playstyle as your opponent would probably not be as good as straight up beating it out with like active defense, for example, in this case, would beat out passive offense. If you have longer range attacks than your opponent, then it's easier for you to play passive offense than it is your opponent. So if you are if I'm trying to zone you with aerials and you hit me with zoned aerials, then you're gonna beat me out. You're gonna win. So Shulk is better at passive offense than almost everyone in the cast. Not everyone, but almost. simply because of his ridiculous range and the amount of space he can control. Anyways, let's give this a shot. Alright, let's go.
Alright.
In general, you're going to want him with long-range safe moves, like spaced fairs and nairs, if you're going for the spacing option. Back air is not going to be very good in this case because it doesn't stay out for long. You want to maximize the amount of time that your attacks stay out. There you go. Lag white. Don't give up your advantage. Keep in mind, I'm going to try to cross you up. Don't overcommit.
Okay. I was going for shield, not buster.
Not too bad overall, but here, let's just slow down the situation.
Alright.
I want you to approach me in one neutral. I'm going to do the same thing every single time until you figure out a way around it.
Alright.
I want you to keep in mind that Shulk has the slowest frame data in the game. If you try to use an attack when you're already in my range, you're going to get hit way before your attack comes out, whether or not I react to it. Also, I want you to keep in mind, I'm using an attack. You have not once shielded.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way to do it if you're spaced enough.
That was meant to be a vision counter.
Okay.
Misinputs, it's basically that one word, the entirety of me playing this game.
You'll get over that this time. you need to respect the fact that you have poor frame data. Literally every single character in this game has better frame data than you.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to compensate, if you're going to approach with an attack, you have to use it early.
Yeah.
Besides that, if you run into me and shield, then you'll be able to punish me out of shield. Here, let's try it. Space back? Alright, go for it. I want you to try up B out of shield.
Alright. That was just
Up B on hit, okay. The shielding is more important than the air slash in this case.
Yeah.
At the same time, you could also get a grab off of this if it's in the right position. Especially if I'm trying to space away. There you go. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Up smash is too slow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish up smash out of shield was saying against more characters. What you could also do is if you approach with a perfect shield, this is more along the lines of advanced techniques. But if you perfect shield, you can release shield and immediately buffer and put a perfect shield.
Mm-hmm.
Like up tilt, for example.
Alright.
It's gonna be a little tricky on Wi-Fi. Like right there, you buffered the jab.
Yeah.
There you go.
I swear, I feel like I'm reacting to all these on time. It's just
Wi-Fi lag.
yeah.
All right, let's try this one last time, and then we'll move on. We can't expect this to work. Yeah, we can't expect it to work perfectly every single time.
Yeah.
All right. So far, you're doing amazingly. Good stuff. I want you to be very careful with not snapping the ledge, by the way, especially against Mario.
Yeah, because that dash attack, it's kind of brutal.
Not just dash attack. Flood will kill you. Okay, you were doing well until you fell into disadvantage. Remember, when you're in disadvantage, you want to reset to neutral before re-engaging. Otherwise, your approach becomes predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Rip.
Okay, let's call it here.
Okay.
Let me real quick do a little something for someone who asked a nice little question in the chat, and I'm gonna answer with a single enlarged picture. Actually, nah. Never mind. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, here's the last of the 4 main playstyles, which we've discussed in detail already. It's just now you're gonna feel what it's like to have it used against you.
Okay.
Okay, so that playstyle, by process of elimination, active defense. I'm trying to invade your space. I'm doing so with reactive options.
Oh, yeah.
I am constantly reacting to what you're doing. So I run up to you, and whatever you do, I'm going to react to. If you miss an attack, I'm going to react and punish you. If you try to dodge, I'm going to react and try to get you.
Okay.
If you hit me with something that I can't react to that will beat me, then you win. For example, if I'm always running up to you and shielding, and you grab me, then you win. Or if you see me running across from the other side of the screen, and you know that I'm going to run out and shield because I'm a predictable player, then you can easily dash grab me and you win. Before I even press the shield button. Some characters with faster dash attacks could even just straight up dash attack me before I even have an opportunity to press the shield button. Keep in mind, I am trying to react to what you're doing after I arrive. I'm not trying to react to... You're right now standing still. I don't react to standing still. I run up to you and I make the initiation by pushing forward. And then I use a reactive option to react to what you do when I arrive. Your reaction when I arrived right there was to back off. And right there I would be completely safe. So what I ended up doing is I ended up gaining stage control because you backed off. So I'm still plus, even though it doesn't look like anything really happened. Then let's say I would do it again. Stay right here, wait for you to do something. And if you grab me, then I lose the exchange. And you gain the advantage.
Okay.
At the same time, if you bait my reactions, like let's say you land on me with a nair. Do it again. Right there, you push me out of range, and I might try to shield grab, and then you would punish me for doing so. Like, let's say you try to cross. Actually, here's a better explanation. I want you, instead of landing with nair in front of me, land with nair behind me.
Alright.
Keep in mind that your nair starts behind you, so you can very easily short hop over someone and then hit him with that back part of nair. I can't punish that at all. And if I try to shield grab on reaction because it looks like it's gonna land in front of me, then you can punish my grab. At the same time, what if I try to shield grab you and you land with nair? No, like land with nair in front of me. I get the shield grab, right?
Yep.
So what if you, right before you... No, since I'm trying to wait for you to land with an attack, what if you just land and grab me?
Tomahawk.
Yeah. You have to fast fall though, because this is based off your opponent not being able to react. If you casually land behind me and slowly go for the grab, then I'm going to roll out before you even get a chance to do anything. Now the other thing you could do is, let's say I'm reacting to just use grab early before you land. And you double jump right before you land. I'll try to grab you and I'll miss. And if you're a character with a... Now, if you can fast fall after that, or if you're against a character with a slower grab, like let's say Zerzu Samus, who misses the grab, or Samus, who, you know, Samus players love to just shield and then grab whenever you get close. Or Robin, for example, might shield and then grab when you land in front of them. And then they have slow punishable grabs, so you can easily double jump and then fast fall nair and start a combo. So those are pretty good ways to bait reactions. Other things you could do is things like run and then roll when you get close, to try to see what the person will do when they get close, or just opt for a safe option, or you know, miscellaneous stuff. Now it's not always going to be the person running forward and shielding. They might run forward and roll, run forward and spot dodge. They might pretend to approach and then just get out of your range. Like people who are good at the dance trots might do this. Or they might get towards you, dash dance right out of your range, and then try to do something to mix you up. Just wait for you to do something. Or they might do something like this. Sorry.
Yeah, fade back a little.
Yeah, fade back with some kind of option. Preferably a wave bounce instead of a V-reverse. Or they might jump up and air dodge and then try to combo you after the air dodge. So, these are all different ways of playing reactively. It's not always going to be run up and shield. So if I run up to you and spot dodge, and you try to grab me, I can punish your grab. But oftentimes, you're going to be able to grab again before I can do anything. Because I don't have that many fast options. Like here, I'm going to run up to you and spot dodge. I want you to mash grab twice. I want to see what happens.
Alright.
Okay. I'm a little bit too... Okay, I want you to grab me and then hold shield.
Alright.
Just see around how much lag you have.
Okay.
You see that difference?
Yeah.
So, against characters that don't have options that are that fast, you could very easily do something to them. You as Shulk maybe don't want to have to go through that exchange because it's not going to turn out well for you. You don't have fast attacks.
Yeah.
So, if someone is constantly approaching you with a shield because you're threatening them with your attacks, like you're constantly imagine you gotten really good at spacing out with like bears and fairs and all that good stuff. People are going to try to break through that wall by running up to you and shielding, because your attacks linger too much for them to try to approach with a spot dodge. So there you can condition them to go for those things, and then you can grab them. But if they start getting wise, they're not going to approach with shields all the time. They might approach with air dodge, they might approach with spot dodge, they might approach with roll. And you need to be ready for that. So that's why I'm teaching you the many different ways to get around it, because there's always going to be those things. Now, there's a bit of a game of rock, paper, scissors involved with these different playstyles. Starting from this playstyle, active defense, it can be beat by active offense. And it will tie against every other playstyle except for the playstyle. No, it will tie with itself, and it beats passive playstyles. Active defense is the counter to passive play. So if you play passively against someone who's rushing up to you with shields, he's eventually going to break through. Unless you're very, very, very good at spacing and you use your stage control to your utmost advantage. If you get pushed to the ledge, though, then you won't be able to play this playstyle anymore passively, and you'll be forced to cross them up, and that's where the active player can get you. So, if you're looking to straight up beat up this playstyle, you either, like I said, bait out the reactions with your own active defense, or you hit them with something that they can't react to, or you take advantage of the fact that they're pushing towards you, and then you push towards them. Because let's say you're constantly pushing back, and I'm walking towards you, you're going to lose all that stage control. But if I push towards you and you push towards me, then you're going to take the stage control that I give up. Now suddenly I'm over here. And if you constantly do this, then I can't really exploit this advantage against you. So what you want to do is you want to play active offense. That unsafe playstyle, now is the time for it to shine. So like if I'm constantly approaching you with a run-up shield, you can cross up my shield with a nair, and there's nothing I can do about that. Or you can just grab me before I can react. So either you push into me, cross me up, or you just beat me out without me being able to react. If you constantly push back, then I'm going to be able to beat you through. That's why it's usually best for someone who plays this playstyle to kind of give their opponent a wider berth. Because then, when they make their approach, they can make their approach impossible to react to. But if they approach straight out, constantly holding shield, then you'll be able to beat something at point blank range, but if they cross you up, you gain nothing and you lose everything. So now we talked a bit about that, let's give it a shot. We have half an hour left in the lesson, so we'll see if we can cover as much as we possibly can.
Alright.
Okay, let's go. I like the jab walk. It's turning out a lot better for you right now. At the same time, make sure you don't approach, with a punishable move. When your opponent is playing reactively, you can't use anything that's the middle. One thing I want you to keep in mind as well is that Buster makes all your attacks safer on shields.
Well, because just the more damage that does?
Yes. To the point that if you forward smash me when I'm in... Actually, here, I want you to try this. Get right next to me. Down smash.
Oh, yeah, down. Yeah. Yeah. Down smash is pretty powerful if you can land that first hit. From what I remember.
There's better ways to do that, but that's the basic explanation. You do a lot of damage to shield, which means you have a lot of stun against shield. Which means you can zone people who are trying to approach your shields a little easier, and you can be safer when you cross them up. Okay, let's try that one. Let's try this one more time.
All right.
You were doing well that time, though.
All right. Oh.
Okay, we're good. Uh-oh. When you get those opportunities, I want you to make it a good punch. Lag kind of helped me on that one.
Yep.
Okay, let's try this one more time, and then we're gonna move on. Because we can't spend all our time on this. We've already spent an hour.
Yeah. It only takes 30 minutes.
Okay, you might need a little more practice with this, but
oh well.
I guess just to think about it a little bit, and if we have time, we'll revisit it. But let's move on for now.
Yeah.
Okay, so in general, like I was saying earlier, with different phases of the game, neutral is where you try to apply these 4 playstyles. I want you to think of it like a game of rock paper scissors. You want to be able to look at your opponents, see the way they're playing, and say, okay, right now they are showing this playstyle. And then you think to and loses to active defense.
Just things.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Paradigm.
Yep, Paradigm's pretty great.
Anyways, like I was saying, in neutral is where you apply most of this stuff. You want to try to gain an advantage. Your main goal of neutral is to gain an advantage. Once you're at an advantage, your goal is to keep that advantage as long as you possibly can without giving it up. So it is, let's say you knock me off stage, and you're constantly trying to keep me here at the ledge because you can get so much damage. You switch to Buster Art, get as much damage as you possibly can, just keep knocking me off. I'm trying to make it back on stage. If you push too far, though, then it becomes very easy for me to break past you. Like right there, you got way too close to the ledge.
Yeah.
You want to stay a little back. Also, if you go off stage in order to try to edgeguard me, and you fail, like you miss your attack off stage, because you don't have that much recovery time. Now you have a lot of recovery time after your attack's in the air, you're going to get punished or I'm gonna get back on stage without you being able to contest me. So generally, you want to be. I'm not saying never go off stage, because going off stage is amazing if you're in the right position. Just don't go off stage in positions where you can potentially die for it. If you knock the person not too far away from the stage, then just wait on stage for them to get back on the ledge. Maybe hit them with like a fair if they try to grab the ledge, or if they're not a character that can snap very easily. Just stay right outside this range and try to stop them from forcing their way past you, get as much damage as you possibly can. If you knock them farther away, though, then you can turn on jump art and probably chase them off, because you can get back on stage before they can, whether or not you miss. At the same time, you don't want to push past someone, because let's say you're trying to edgeguard Mario and you get behind him off stage. He can back here and you die.
Oh yeah.
Or let's say you're fighting Mario, Marth, Game & Watch, any of those characters, and they up B to the ledge, and you try to intercept them. Like, you get right below them, like I do, right in front of them, and try to up B and try to scoop them with air slash. Mario's, Marth's, and Game & Watch's up Bs are invincible. If you try to do this, you're gonna die. Invincible. Yes. I mean, not for very long, but they're invincible enough. Don't contest them. You're not gonna do it. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And besides that, they come out too fast and they have good range. So if you let's put it this way: if you succeed with that air slash, you get another chance to edgeguard. If you fail with that air slash, you die. So imagine we're in the pace of the game right now, where I'm at 71%, you're at 23%. And you go off the ledge, you try to edgeguard me with air slash or with fair or whatever. And I up B, and I hit you when we're both off stage. Like here, you succeeded, but I still have my jump, and I can still make it back. But if you fail, you die.
You too.
I mean, because I didn't tech. But that's not worth. You could stay on the stage and just get fine. You'll be fine. You'll be more than fine. You'll be Gucci money. Anyways, that's how you want to play an advantage. When you're in disadvantage, here I'm gonna knock you off stage. I want you to get past me.
All right. I get back to center?
Yeah. Your goal is to get out of the disadvantage. I'm not going to stop until you get out of disadvantage, or you die.
Okay.
Okay, now you're safe. I want you to get really good at playing that game. Jump art makes it a lot easier, by the way. Here, I want you to switch to... actually, let me switch to Shulk. Let me start talking about some Shulk specific stuff. Okay, so when you're at a disadvantage, here's a wonderful way to get back to ledge. Let's say you up B back to the stage, and then you drop off, and you air dodge, and you just break through literally anything that the opponent can do, unless they hard read it. Besides that, you have Nair that you can do as an option to create a barrier above you. Just drop off, and then do a rising Nair. Land on stage. That's something you can practice. Against characters like Fox, Sheik, some other characters who like to edgeguard by creating a lingering hitbox up here that you will run into no matter what you do. If you do that drop off Nair, you'll break through that. You'll use your attack as a barrier. It's important you land on stage though, because if you don't, you'll re-grab ledge without invincibility and you can get punished.
Yeah. Plus, I've suffered the fastball Nair off stage death too many times.
Nair off stage isn't bad, but only if you don't fastball, because you can make it back just fine. and it's actually a really powerful edgeguard tool, especially reverse nair, because the amount of space that it stays out way behind you. First, the quickest hitbox, and then the return is extremely powerful. I love Smash Arc offstage nair. It's stupid good, and then you can make it back on stage just fine. But if you fastball, you're dead. Anyways, moving forward, the nair option is great. The air dodge option is amazing. Besides that, you also have just straight up jump from ledge. Look at how much space you can cover with that. That's stupid. Now you won't always be in jump art at every single time though. Before I say anything, are you aware that you can change Minato arts while you're in hit stun?
I know you can. It's just a little hard for me to pull off.
I mean, literally, it's just pressing B when you're in hit stun.
Point is, when I'm in the middle of a combo, I get a little bit of
scatterbrained. Let me. I want you to turn on jump art, and I want you to deactivate it when I'm comboing.
Right.
Actually, better yet, make it so you switch into jump art.
All right.
Okay, so essentially, you're going to during the throw, you're probably going to be able to buffer the deactivation. Just press B 3 times. So, or buffer the activation. Right there. Now you're in jump art, and now you can make it back to the stage more or less fine. You have a lot more ledge options. Now that's actually one general tool that I want to tell you. When your opponent is here, they can very easily cover your neutral getup with a lot of things. Most notably, grab. If your opponent is a little farther away, then they won't be able to cover your neutral getup if they're going for spaced options like this. Neutral getup becomes the only safe option. But if you do anything else besides neutral getup, they can react to it and stop it. Like, let me teach you about this awesome coverage position. I want you to stand right where I'm standing. Face away from the ledge. There you go. I'm gonna roll. You can grab me on reaction to that and just throw me back out. I'm gonna get up attack. You're out of range. And then you can very easily punish me afterwards. I'm gonna roll. You can react to that. Or cover it. You can cover it with a nair, a back air, a grab, whatever. I'm gonna jump over you. There you go. I'm going to jump over you and stay out. Now you have all the space to cover. I'm going to stay at the ledge. You can stay here literally all day. You don't have to move, because the instant you move, I react to it and get up. And eventually, I have to let go of the ledge if I stay here all day, and when I re-grab, you can punish me with something. Like from this position, you can forward smash. Down angle. A little farther up. In the right position. There you go. You can kill me with that. If you're a little closer, you can actually air slash and scoop me off the ledge. You're too close. There you go. Now, I'm not going high enough because I don't have enough range. If you look at the general Shulk document thing that's available in the Shulk Discord, there's actually a percentage list that I contributed a lot to that'll show you the right amount of range you need for every single character in the game. But in general, air slash at the ledge is a very powerful option. You can literally just stand in that position, hold shield, and use air slash to cover almost anything I do. Here, watch this. Do it again.
Alright.
No. Hold shield. You can kill so many people by doing that. It's so stupid. But yeah, essentially, no, and if they are to neutral getup, which is the hardest one to cover, for Shulk you have several options. You could throw out a lingering attack, like I would highly recommend reverse nair. Reverse, not normal. I mean, normal is fine as well, but reverse allows you to follow up with some other options as well. Also, reverse nair helps you cover literally every single option the opponent can do except to stay on the ledge. Because if they jump, you have the backswing of reverse nair. If they neutral get up, you can react to the neutral get up and throw out the startup of the nair. If they get up attack, since you're in the air, you will dodge it. If they roll, you can reposition yourself and just fastball, and you'll have almost no landing lag, and you can cover it. And yeah, if they just stay there, then you're fine for the most part. Besides that, there's a really powerful tool that you can do to cover neutral get up that will kill them no matter what percent they're at. Here, I want you to do a neutral get up. I want you to try to shield that.
Oh. Oh. That's cheeky.
Yeah.
Very cheeky.
And if they roll, they get hit anyways. So it covers more than one option, which makes it good. But you don't always want to do it. If they drop off and get up, they'll get hit by the down smash as well. If they neutral get up with the right time, then they'll be fine. Essentially, it's a read for neutral get up. I don't recommend doing this all the time. Besides that, if they neutral get up, you can up smash, which I'm sure you know.
Yeah,
almost every Shulk knows.
It's one of my favorite kill options. Just up smash on the ledge.
But you don't want to do it all the time because your opponent is going to know you want it, and they're going to not neutral get up. What you have to do, you have to either read their neutral get up because they've been doing it a lot, or condition them into neutral get upping, and then read. If you play the way I told you to stay spaced out, the only thing that's going to beat it is neutral get up. And once they neutral get up, next time you got them. Just keep in mind that if you're right up next to the ledge like this, people aren't going to neutral get up. If you're spaced out like this, people are going to be more likely to neutral get up. So you can very easily like take a step back and then run forward and up smash to bait it. Just make sure you don't overcommit to anything at a percentage that's going to kill you. For example, if I went for a neutral get up read with up smash right now, I'd be stupid. Because while it covers two options, which is either... By the way, I highly recommend doing neutral get up from this position, not directly with the ledge. Because this position you can also cover roll with the same time. If you stay here, you can cover get up attack and jump with the same timing. And neutral get up only if you delay it. Also, some characters will fall out of it. But anyways, if I were to go for an up smash read right now, I would get bodied if I miss. And if I hit, I don't get much reward. Risk reward is one of the most important things in this game, and it's what almost everything else about fundamentals and neutral and all that good stuff is about. Risk versus reward. If the risk is too great for the reward, don't do it. Like if I'm at 154%, you're at 36%, and I knock you off stage, and I think, hey, do I want to go off for a fair? Or do I want to try to edge guard you over here? Let's go ahead and do that. But now I'm off stage at 154%. It worked out in my favor, but it easily could have not. Like, I'm going to run off fair here. If you air dodge, no, if you get hit by that, you die. If you don't DI well.
That was rage.
Yeah, that was rage and bad DI. I'm assuming. Yeah. But like, if I do it now, it's never going to kill. I knock you off stage, and yeah, that worked out great. I'm going to go off stage again, and now I'm dead. Risk versus reward. I got 22%, and in return, I died. I could have just as easily stayed over here and just played safe. And there's nothing you can really do that'll kill me from this position. Very easy. So, before you do anything, think, is the reward worth the risk? And if it is, then go for it. If not, then don't. And besides that, of course, you want to play neutral. You want to think about different options. You want to think about rock, paper, scissors. And the concept of weighted rock, paper, scissors, which is something we didn't get a chance to talk about. I'm going to go over it briefly. Essentially, there's a game of rock, paper, scissors present in Smash. It's it's a relationship between attack, shield, and grab. Attack beats grab, grab beats shield, shield beats attack. But not every character is going to want to do the same thing every single time. Like, not every character is going to straight up play rock, paper, scissors. For example, you look at Mario. If Mario runs up to you and he dash attacks, what does he get?
Oh. If you're shielding?
No, like, just if he hits you, if it succeeds.
Oh, he gets like 6% and you're knocked away a little?
Yeah, that's not much. That's almost nothing. Now, what if he runs up to you and grabs you?
Then he's got a good 30-40.
Yeah, he's got a ridiculous amount of damage that he can get from a combo. Now, what if he runs up to you and shields, blocks your attack, and then does whatever?
30-40.
Yeah. So, just from this, you can tell that there's a weight to this game of rock, paper, scissors. If Mario wins with scissors, he gets almost nothing. But if he wins with rock or paper, he wins extra points. So, judging off of this, if you look at the traditional Mario player, you can get a lot of reward by just staying back. No, by him just going for rock or paper. So, if you play paper permanently, then you'll win against almost every single exchange that Mario can do. Because you will tie with his grab. If you constantly grab him when he approaches you, you will tie with his grab, or you will beat his shield. And if he dash attacks, you don't lose much. However, if he starts dash attacking repeatedly, if he starts using advancing aerials, like running up to you with a nair, or just coming up with you with certain other options like that, then you will be forced to shield. And that's where Mario can condition you to go for the shield so that he can grab you. So you do have to play this game of rock, paper, scissors, but you can generally expect what the character wants based on the kind of character it is. At the same time, you can't get away with only playing the character. You have to play the player. The player is going to pick different things. Even though the player gets more reward for certain options, he might go for everything else. You might end up losing to a 4-glory scrub who does nothing but dash attack and up smash the whole match because he didn't want to hold shield because he didn't want to get grabbed. So you always have to keep in mind what kind of player you're playing. Everyone's going to play differently. That's where the 4 main playstyles and that kind of analysis starts working. Besides that, let me see, what else can we talk about? We talked about option coverage. Adaptability is essentially playing that game of rock, paper, scissors. You want to see what kind of playstyle your opponent is playing, and you want to be able to pick the playstyle that beats him. At the same time, you want to pick the options in rock, paper, scissors that beat him. Sometimes you're going to find players that play in multiple different playstyles. Not so much that they're adapting, but like someone who plays passive defense until you approach, and then they suddenly switch to passive offense. Or someone who will immediately switch to active offense, like they're running away the whole time, but then you try to get in their face and then they rush you down. Like a cloud player who's standing still charging his limit, and then you try to get close and he dash attacks. That's kind of passive offense, but it's got traits of both, because he might do something else. He might rush up to you and grab you, expecting you to run up and shield in order to try to beat his active defense, and then he will just run up to you and grab you, and then you're going to struggle. So it's not only about knowing what kind of playstyle the player prefers, but it's about being able to recognize what they will do when they're triggered. When you approach the opponent, when you do something, the opponent will react with a trigger. Sometimes that trigger will be to knock you away. Sometimes that trigger will be to switch playstyles. Sometimes that trigger will be to stay in the same playstyle. Every player is different, and you have to recognize it. And if the player does not adapt and keeps playing the same playstyle every single time, and you pick the playstyle that beats them, you're going to win. If you don't adapt and you keep playing players, like let's say, the analogy that I always give is, imagine you enter a rock, paper, scissors tournament, and someone at the door greets you, and he says, "Hey man, welcome to the tournament. Nice to meet you. I'm a paper man."
Funny enough, I'm a scissors man.
There you go. Yeah, you could just decide to use whatever character beats them, or whatever playstyle beats them. if someone goes up to you and says, "Hey, I'm a passive player. I like to zone people away. I like to play for timeout. You won't be able to get in against me." Then you're like, "Oh, I'll just play active defense and win. I'll just play smart, take away your stage control, choke you, and then you can't do anything. You can't play passively anymore, and then I just knock you away and take advantage and win." If you get really good at doing that, then you'll be able to beat passive players. And if someone goes up to you and says, "Hey, I play Captain Falcon, show me your moves. I'm gonna rush in an air and dash attack and dash grab and go for combos and press buttons."
Hey, I know how to spot dodge.
Yeah, either I know how to spot dodge, or I know how to space attacks. I know how to use my stage control to my advantage, go back, hit, throw sword, 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 and the guy's gonna say, "I hate swords." Boy, oh boy, I wonder why.
Can't punch those, man.
You can't punch swords. If someone says, "I like to break through other people's defenses." Oh, what if I'm not defensive?
What if I just go in?
Yeah. Different players play different playstyles. Just pick the one that beats them. And being able to switch on the... There's going to be players that will try to adapt, and then they will switch to a different playstyle. Like someone who's, let's say, a Peach player that I know. Is constantly staying back out of range, and whenever you try approaching, they will step back and hit you with something that can start a combo, and then get a ridiculous amount of damage. This person is amazing at punishing players who hold forward. So what I do to start beating him is I stay back. Like, I just space out, throw out attacks whenever they try to get close, and make it so that they can't get in my range. Peach is a slow character, so I can just keep him back the whole time, especially with Buster. So what this person did eventually, when they tried to adapt to this, is they switched up from passive offense to active defense. Or from passive in general, passive defense, passive offense, to active defense. They tried to rush down and block my attacks, perfect shield, and then start a combo. And what I did afterwards was adapt to that change. I grabbed them when they tried approaching with shield. I crossed them up. I prevented them from approaching with this playstyle, and he would try to switch back to his old playstyle, and I would keep juggling these two playstyles, and I would win. I'd always stay a step ahead. And then they would think, "Damn, I can't do this. I can't do it with Peach." It's partially... I mean, I think Shulk has an advantage over Peach, but it's the playstyle. I outplayed him. That's what you gotta do. You gotta recognize the playstyle that they're using, and be able to just turn it on its head and just beat him up.
Yeah.
Anyways, Maverick is asking me to repeat which playstyle beats which. Okay, so passive defense, which is playing passively, staying back, controlling your stage, playing reactively, the defense part, it beats active offense, so you can't just rush in and press buttons against someone who's playing reactively and staying back, and loses to active defense, someone who pushes forward safely, baiting reactions. Active offense, which is running forward, trying to invade your stage, take your stage control for myself, and pressing buttons, trying to play proactively, beats active defense, because if I'm trying to rush in safely and reactively, you cross me up, you take my stage control, or you hit me with something I can't react to. Loses to passive offense and passive defense. If I'm staying back and waiting for you to approach and using my stage control to my advantage, then you won't be able to get in. Passive offense, which is staying back, is a zoning playstyle, using my stage control to my advantage, throwing out attacks proactively to stop you from getting in. It beats active offense. You can't just rush in and press buttons against me when I'm taking a step back. And it loses to active defense. If you rush forward and block my attack, or break through my attack and punish me in my ending lag, then you'll be able to break through this. Especially since a lot of characters, when they run forward with shield, they will keep sliding even after they block the attack. And it can be beat with a better passive offense. If you outspace me, then I can't space you out. Active defense, rushing forward with shield, all that good stuff, or playing reactively, trying to take your stage control, forcing you to react to an option over here, beats passive playstyles in general. If you're constantly trying to space back, and I'm approaching safely, trying to react to anything you do, eventually you run out of stage control. You run out of stage to use, I have full stage control, and then I can punish you when you try to cross me up. Alternatively, if you're trying to space me back with attacks, I could just run through it. And it loses to active offense. If someone's pressing buttons and crossing me up, when I try to push into their space, they take the stage control that I leave behind. At the same time, they can hit me with something that I can't react to, like a quick dash attack, or a quick attack in general, or a grab. I can't react to that. Anyways, let me see. Is there anything else that I really need to touch on? We didn't get to talk about any advanced Shulk tech, but I think you got a lot to work on before then.
Yeah.
So right now you have the basic fundamentals of Shulk already in mind. I taught you some more stuff to add to that, and you have a lot to think about with the fundamentals. Afterwards, we can maybe talk about the advanced Shulk stuff, or you can look into that on your own. But
Yeah.
is there anything you want to say or ask before we end the lesson?
Not really. I had a good time.
All right, glad to hear, man. Anyways, thanks a lot for coming by, man. Glad you enjoyed the lesson. Hope you learned a lot. It's gonna be a tough road. Shulk is a very difficult character to master, but is very rewarding. And he's a very fun character overall. He's got an extreme amount of versatility. I think he's a solid character even in the current meta. So it just depends on how far you're able to take him. Every single move in his arsenal can be optimized, and it's up to you to figure out how. But that'll come with experience, and we can talk about that later on if you want to do another lesson or whatever ends up happening. Or just feel free to ask for any basic advice here and there. I don't charge for handouts, you know?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
I'll hit you up some other time.
All right, sounds good. Take care of yourself, man. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks again for the donation.
All right, have a good one.
Anyways, that does it for this 2-hour lesson on Shulk. I hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are interested in a lesson like this, tailored to you directly, I charge $20 per hour. As you can see, this man donated $40 for the 2-hour lesson. If you are interested in making this payment, all you got to do is donate directly to the stream right here. Scroll down. Check the big Shulk with the glowing thing or whatever. Or if you're watching this from YouTube later on, just click the link in the description to go to my stream, and yeah, we'll talk. We'll make it happen. If you enjoyed the stream, please follow me here on Twitch or on YouTube, on Twitter, all that good stuff. Details right here for everything. This video will be uploaded to YouTube. For those of you who are interested in watching, or have anyone who is interested in learning Shulk and want to start with the very basics and fundamentals and all that good stuff, because I consider fundamentals so much more important than all the advanced tech that everyone has been worked up over with Shulk. Because if you don't have a baseline to base everything off of, how are you going to grow? There are some attacks that help you out with those fundamentals, but until you understand what you're supposed to do, you have to know the rules before you can break them. I mean, you don't gotta pay $40 for 2 hours. It's $20 for 1 hour. Whatever you can afford, whatever you can manage. And of course, I don't charge for free advice. I give viewer battles pretty frequently as well, and I often give some tips at the end of that. But if you want to really spike, then I can help you do that. And yeah, just let me know